So Cardano's been very interesting to talk about as of late, okay? And I do relate to all of you guys that are frustrated. It's been interesting, right? All of this good stuff happening in Cardano's direction. You hear people like me talking about it, saying, oh, this is great for Cardano. And it sounds all fine and dandy on paper, but we're not seeing the price impact, the price action that we've been talking about. And I kind of go glass half full, half empty for that one, because I do think that if you are trading Cardano, there was some opportunities that where you could have done well in 2024, 2025. For example, Cardano was one of the worst trades I ever made, as I bought it almost at all-time highs around $2.90 way back when. But also one of the best trades I've made because I did buy it underneath a quarter in value. Okay, so we'll look at some of that. We'll talk about the chart. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe down below. But we're going to answer one of the big questions here. And this is going to be kind of a sidestep. And we're going to get side out of the box of why is Cardano's price not moving? Because we're going to answer the question for you guys. How much Cardano do you need to hold to become a millionaire? Okay. A lot of you guys watching probably are ADA millionaires. Me, not there just quite yet, but we'll talk about how much you actually need right now in this video. All right. So here we are. And also, guys, we are going to look into this. We'll share with you guys the price action on the day. And you can see as we currently are ongoing, okay, another green day, that's what we want to see. And it's nothing really earth-shattering, right? We're foreseeing what we have coming down the pipe within the Jerome Powell interest rate cuts. And September, October, kind of is that tipping point, right, in that turning point, if you will, where I think that we do get some positive sentiment coming out from the Fed. And also ETF approvals are looming. Great announcements coming for the fall as we get into Q4 here for not just Cardano, but pretty much all of the cryptos that I do cover. Very bullish on some of the things I've been reading as I wake up today, okay? But as we look at Cardano, 83 cents, we have seen a nice little 2.1 uptick into the green. And guys, this is one where, like I talked about, over the past 365 days, we were trading underneath 50 cents for quite some time. And I know that it's not sexy, it's not flashy. We'll look at the trading view all you want. And I understand that, yes, there are bad points, right, where you could have bought Cardano and made bad trades. Simply put, I was one of those people, okay? If you bought Cardano up here at $1.28 and we've been on a steady downtrend, yeah, we got to go a little bit more up before we even get to that break-even point. And as we do look at a lot of the support, this rising trend line, also we have this, descending triangle, possibly alluding to seeing Cardano break out. And I do think this right here is very favorable. If you want to zoom in on this, we are flashing momentum up on my trading indicator. That's kind of what I want to see. And that's a horrible way of showing it. But this kind of like oval, for lack of better words, right? This, as I zoom in on it, this is bullish activity on the chart. And this is kind of why we're starting to flash momentum up, although we are down. But I do think this is something where if we can mimic what we have going on and get a push from the Fed, it would not shock me if Cardano gets back up to $1 very shortly. Okay, those are just my thoughts. It's not financial advice. Always be sure to do your own research and due diligence, okay? But that's kind of where I wanted to lend towards the conversation, where the big concern I have, right, is if we do get back to $1.20, $1.30, and there are people, for example, into the red, as Cardano has been down since all-time highs. If you bought at the top, you are down. I've been down on Cardano overall pretty much since I started trading crypto. Okay, like I said, I bought in the first trade ever made. All right, and this is way before even I started talking about on YouTube. This was back at about $2.90. So I'm in it to win it. I'm in it for the long haul. And that's just not me talking about my bags, because like I said, there was also times when I bought it at around 19 cents. So, it's fairly interesting, and allowing yourself to dollar cost average does allow for kind of erasing some of those mistakes that we can make as a trader, okay? But for all things considered, my real concern with this whole thing is that when we do reach $1.30, the sell pressure, okay? Now, hopefully we're in a spot where the bulls are outweighing the bears, and we have some sell pressure that can create a lot of positive things for crypto. And what I mean by that is it's kind of that old, nobody's going to care if you're selling if Cardano still goes up, okay? And that's kind of where I want to be at, okay? I don't really have a plan to sell my Cardano. Not that I don't have an exit strategy, but I have a 2030 mindset, always have, always will. And that's just how I'm playing it personally. You guys are welcome to do whatever you want to do with your own crypto. But that's just what I wanted to share with you in this video. Okay. Now, outside the chart, let's get into that common question. And a lot of you guys watching want to know, how much Cardano do you have to own to become a millionaire? So real briefly, we'll talk about it. Okay. And this is something where I do want to share the same sentiment. Methodical, technological, scientific. Those are all adjectives that we hear to describe the Cardano blockchain. I will tell you one thing though, if they could ever get the hype train off the ground, and Hoskinson, for better words, I don't know if he just comes off as nerdy, but he has a lot of flash, and if they can do similar things and kind of catch that mainstream media, if you will, there would be a very strong argument to be made that I could personally see Cardano getting back into the top 5, not just from a price perspective, but a sentiment, a social sentiment standpoint. Okay, and I will tell you guys, they are on the come up, because I get to see a lot of the numbers here, the analytics on YouTube, and all my socials from a lot of tools that I use. The Google Trends, all that stuff is kind of peaking for ADA. Okay, but as we look into it, guys, we have to go back to this age-old adage, right? How much can this crypto become? How much do I need this crypto to become a millionaire myself? All right, so at today's price levels, roughly around 1.22 million ADA. And if we get up back to $1.20, it'll be about under a million at 833,000 Cardano. Okay, and if we do hit the previous all-time high, okay, and this is something that is not really making any sense because it was not $39. So a lot of times on these pieces, they do kind of shift the decimals around. So personally, I think they're alluding to maybe $3.90. However, that is not what I believe the all-time high is for Cardano. So that would be roughly around 323,000 ADA. Okay, and so by doing some quick math, that doesn't make any sense as well, because that would be about 1.2 million. So I think that is a typo for what is to be considered here, as I do want to just kind of use my common sense and try to fill in the blanks on this one, as I think that somebody should have proofread that. But it's probably... yeah, it's probably about, yeah, that's a complete misnomer there. So I would say it's probably at that 39 cents. So they did forget a decimal. So if you want to look at it, it would be at 39 cents. That would be 323,000 Cardano become a millionaire. And then if we do hit a $10 price tag, it'll be roughly about 100,000 ADA. Now, the 100,000 ADA is very intriguing for, I think, a lot of people, because I just did a video on XRP talking about how this all kind of works. And I was very shocked myself to become a top 10% holder of XRP, or in wallet size. Doesn't take much, okay? And I think 100,000 ADA for a lot of people that have been in Cardano for a long time probably are sitting around that threshold. Now, the $10 price tag, that is very intriguing to me, because that is a price level that I personally had when I first bought my Cardano. Okay, and this is no me taking an analyst's price prediction. I'm not looking down someone else's material here. This is just me talking to you guys about my personal kind of strategy when I bought my first Cardano way back when. Okay, we're talking 2021, 2020. Okay, I bought Cardano with the expectation, for me and what I'm doing personally, that $9 to $12 would be that boundary, would be that zone, before I even thought about selling one Cardano. Okay, I still hold true to that today. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a wizard, a gospel preacher, none of that. For lack of better words, I cannot predict the future. Okay, so keep that in mind. I'm just sharing with you guys my personal investment strategy, what I'm doing personally out here in the space. And you guys are welcome to leave a comment and share with you guys, share with me how much you guys think I'm foolish, or if you do believe in what I'm saying right now in this video. Okay. And I think that, just to conclude and get out of here, what is holding Cardano's price back, right? We've had all these bullish catalysts, right? The Chainlink, Oracle network. We're having all these collaborations, integrations. Personally, guys, I'm kind of sick of saying collaborations, integrations, okay? I'd rather much say bullish, breakout, price surge, all of that good stuff. A lot more fun to talk about than just the hypotheticals. I'm not really a sunshine pumper, so what I mean by that is I'm not here with my pom-poms rooting for Cardano. You can find that on other channels. I'm just here to just share with you guys the news and what I'm doing personally, okay? So that's kind of what we had. I mean, it was Chainlink, it was the Midnight Glacier airdrop, and I'm not a skeptic by nature, but I will tell you guys, those were big things for Cardano, but things that, for example, the Glacier airdrop did not get me excited because I kind of know how that one's going to play out, although looking to bring millions to the ecosystem that lies within Cardano. So a couple things to digest. It's more so for me, the Bitcoin bridge is, I think, the big one for me personally. But, you know, it's kind of where we see cryptos make this famous mistake from time to time, is they want to expand. They want to get into other pools. They want to kind of spread, if you will. And I've seen this sometimes kind of get overrun where you kind of try to do things too fast instead of focusing on your own community, what you have intrinsically. And a lot of times that does kind of result in a negative fashion. But more times than not, it is going to always bring in more users, more adoption, and it will be good for the overall state of the Cardano ecosystem. So that's how I feel about it. Leave a comment down below. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in for 10 minutes as I did kind of rant about what we need to do to become Cardano millionaires, and also kind of just the chart as it stands in the current climate from a kind of I guess you'd say a social sentiment, kind of the feedback I got from you guys. Sometimes it's worth talking about because your guys' opinion does matter. All right, so I'll leave you all with that. Enjoy it. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you all tomorrow in the next video. Cheers.